I'm 34 year old, living in St. Albans. I moved here from Oldham back in 2006. Going to filmmaking when I was 10 years old, when I was making film videos, photos with friends. When I saw Steven Spielberg making films, I thought I could get into filmmaking, documentaries, short films. Then I started doing documentaries about celebrities, authors, activists, networking with people. That's the only way you can get a job in the filmmaking. I would say it's hard, but you have to keep at it. You have to keep on looking for people like myself who love filmmaking. What I like about Steven Spielberg is his passion for filmmaking, his talent, working with different kind of people, whether it's experience or non-experience. He gets the job done on the filmmaking. He knows his craft. The first Steven Spielberg movie I watched was Firefly. I was 15 years old when I watched that film. The other directors I like Ridley Scott, Martin Scorsese, Guillermo del Toro. My favorite film is Gladiator, because what I like about the film is it's the fighting, invasion, about love, about betrayal, and how the people lived back in those days. My absolute favorite is Gladiators. Yeah, when I was growing up, I wanted to be engineer, but it never happened because I fell in love with filmmaking. Parents said it's not a realistic career choice because they were pessimistic. They thought I was not able to make it in the industry because it's hard. Then she said to me, "Why don't you do other jobs like engineering, lawyer, or scientist, or doctor?" I just chose my own career path, as well as attending college, doing my GCSEs, A-levels, working part-time to earn some money. To find a job in the industry is very hard and competitive. You have to be really good. You have to have a lot of energy, passion to make any sort of film. I had a, tough childhood. My father and mother divorced early when I was 7. But I went to school, had a good education. It was quite tough. My grandma, my grandfather took me in their home, and I was worried about my mom because she was domestically abused, and it was quite tough. My father used to beat, when I did nothing, and it really dampened my hopes of filmmaking. I lost concentration as well. I lost hope because mothers and fathers are, your foundation, your strength. You go to your mother and father to get help with these struggles, and I couldn't get that from my grandparents. Yes, playing with friends and watching movies, that really got me through most of the abuse. My hobbies are going to the gym, exercising, playing football, socializing with friends, traveling on holidays. Oh yes, I would love to go to more places. Yes, when I have more money, then I can travel. I will travel to Middle East, like Qatar or Turkey, Europe, Turkey. I would love to visit these countries. You get to meet people, the culture, the food, more opportunities. The good thing about it is the weather is good, always sunny most of the time. When I was in Bangladesh, last time when I was in Bangladesh was in 2013. Stayed there for 5 months. Yeah, came back January 2014. Yeah, it was for a holiday, see family and friends. I felt happy to see them, but at the same time a bit scared because I haven't lived with them since I was small, about 3 or 4 years old. That's the last time I saw them. Then again, 2007, 2013. Then the relationship seems to distance itself as I was in the UK because, you didn't see them or stayed with them. I did some filmmaking in Bangladesh as well, video Bangladesh as well, because I cannot forget my heritage. I don't feel I have an identity issue. I will see myself English. I feel comfortable because I was born in the UK. I will call this home. I will choose to live in the UK, yes. My daily routines are mostly spent at home. On the internet, play games sometimes. Talk with friends on the phone when I'm home. Looking out for my mother. Getting the medicine prescriptions from the chemist. Taking to a GP, doctors. Yeah. Looking for work. Going to the job center pretty much 5 days a week. Going to appointment to see my job advisor, and they might help me to find a job nearby where I live that can help me with buying my film equipments, day-to-day life expenses. Yeah. The types of people I meet at the job center varies. Like people with kids, people with disabilities who are unemployed for a long period of time, elderly, older people, single people. I see them when I attend my appointments. The staffs are very friendly, very helpful. Yeah. If I ask any questions, I like to get resolved on the same day. I haven't seen any conflicts when I'm there. Sometimes arguments can occur when I go to the job centers looking for work. It's the same process every day, but I never get distracted from my filmmaking or writing scripts. I do what I have to do to look for work every day. That's my routine. Job applying process is very easy for me. I'm used to doing that. Yes, for many years. To look for jobs in the internet is very, very easy. I mean, there's a lot of jobs available than in person. The replies I get about 4 to 5 out of 20. They either unsuccessful or don't have any experience. That's why I get feedback on. What the employers are looking in me is maybe experience, job experience, what knowledge I have. Maybe that's lacking, or maybe the job is far away, I can't travel because of the fuel prices, petrol prices are high. The job market is very competitive, very niche. Not a lot of roles, the type of jobs that I'm going for are there. It was easier to find jobs 5-10 years ago than it is now, because of shortage of employees or lack of skills. There's not enough job boards out there. Maybe because of the Brexit, many people left, many students left, or the economy is not growing as fast as it should be. That's why I think it started to wobble a bit. Jobs market started to go down a bit. During lockdown, I couldn't find anything. I couldn't apply anything. The neighbors where I live, I can compare to one of them who is on benefit, who doesn't work. He's not actually seeking work. Probably he has a long-term illness, disability, mental health. One of those. They're different compared to mine. They're ill. They're not actively seeking work. My friend, he used to work in pharmaceutical company years ago called GlaxoSmithKline. Years ago, he stopped working as he got ill. I've been out of work since 2020, 3 years, going to the job center. The benefit monthly, again, monthly is not enough. It doesn't cover food or clothing. It's not enough to live on. Yeah. My last job I left was working in a retail shop in the food, department. When the pandemic hit, it was hard for me to look for work ever since. 3 years, 4 years. But I'm slowly getting back into work. It was a sales assistant at my shop where I live. It really helped me with the cost of buying equipments. Yes, it really helped me. I did that part-time filmmaking, yes, as well as working in the shop. During lockdown, it was very tough, very isolating. I couldn't see anyone. There was no people around. There was no jobs. Stayed at home mostly. Sometimes I feel isolated if I'm not, socializing with people, or they're not socializing with me. I feel down. I feel depressed. I just manage. I don't dwell on it. I just get on not have my depression come back, because it's a really painful illness, depression, as you know. But I think positive, not negative, most of the time. I am religious. I'm a Muslim. I would say devout. Yes, I feel close to him, and I pray to him when I get stuck or need help. I always pray to him. I think God helped me where I am today. If it wasn't for God, then I would have been struggling. I never struggled with my faith. I kept my faith to myself. My mother was really faithful, praying to God always. I would say I won't lose faith. Yeah, I think you have to think positive. Friendships really was important to me. It helped reduce my depression. When I talk to people, I get happy. When I moved to St. Albans from Oldham, I lost contacts with my old friends from school. That's when I go to visit them, that's the only time I see them. Otherwise, there's no contact at all. A lot of childhood friends was back in Oldham, where I'm from. I feel like I'm missing out on buying my own house. If there was more opportunities for my mother, who's ill. She suffered depression since when she first married and moved to UK. She can't work at the moment. Then I would happily move to another town where there are many of my other country people live there. You get to talk to your own language, feel more comfortable, more opportunities, more varieties of shops, and less crime. I feel isolated. When I go to the mosque and talk to my, people from my country or similar to my countries, they can help me with anything. If I need help, they will come and assist you, say, what help do you need? They will try their best to help with the problem. I rely on people a lot, yes. But I rely on myself mostly. Yeah, it can be difficult to rely on myself. It can be difficult when I'm not working or when I'm struggling, when I have no money. That's the time I get depressed, low. But my mother will help me, to overcome. I feel like I'm indebted to them. My mother especially. She raised us very, in the most bad moments. And when my father was abusive, and she held strong. My 3 wishes are to open my film studio, get a house for my mother, and build a mosque for, I would say, Bangladesh or in the UK. Serve others, the needy, so God can see. I have one sister, one brother. They're working. They finished universities, I think. I'm not in contact with them. They don't want to be in contact with us, because we used to live with my grandparents. And she doesn't get along with my mother, my dad's mother, yeah. So she doesn't get on with my mother. My dad married again, got his own children, and most parents keep themselves positive, not think about what they went through, full of sacrifices, because they were protective of the children, isn't it? They don't want to communicate with their children. They feel their children can help them when they're depressed, when they're lonely. Life would be different if I lived with people. Yes, it would be completely different experience than living with parents, because how it will be different is you get to talk about anything, as you would not talk about with your parents. Most things you cannot talk about with your parents. Any issues or yes. My childhood friend is he's working. He's an IT analyst. He's in Ipswich. North Suffolk. Oh yes, that's where he lives. I known him from school, primary school. He moved from Oldham to Ipswich. Yes, he's a good guy. He's always asked me about jobs. How's your filmmaking going? I always be in contact with him. I'm sure he's happy with his work. I would love to make friends, get more opportunities in work. I'd just be happy, get married, have kids, raise them, educate my children, and affection and just look out for them, take them to good schools, with the good jobs, and just look out for them. Yes, that would be my dream. I would think I can raise my children the way I want them to be raised. First time dad is daunting. Maybe in 5 years time with the wife through website or in person. That's how I'll meet someone religious, someone is kind of have a good job, who would look after their husband, isn't it? And someone who's reliable, passionate, good at cooking, and it depends. It really depends. In London especially, yes. I've been single for a long time, yes. It's quite hard to have a partner, and I see what happens, isn't it? Relationship is good. I'm focusing on my career. Most people look at that, what career position they're in, what kind of car they drive, what kind of house they live in, how much money they have. Because if you don't have those, things, it can hold you back. It can delay to get a woman, and it's the same thing with the woman. She has to have a good job, a good career position, a good job. I think men find it difficult to find suitable women, isn't it? I hope the economy gets better. There are jobs out there, affordable car, affordable house. Young people they go into college to get a career where they can be comfortable with their families. Where there is a good salary. They focus maybe on further education. Studying at college, yes, is better to study than go straight into work, because you're going to go on universities to study further and have a good paid job at the end of it. Because of tuition fees after the course, I don't want to be paying that amount of money. I started straight to go to work to support myself. I think students delaying, most students, not all of them, they drop out of the course because of the tuition fees. Yeah, most people are delaying marriage, getting on the housing ladder because of money issues, to be honest. Because there's no backup, like someone will cover for them, someone will pay for them, or anything like that. So they take years and years to do it. For me to look for a house is impossible at the moment, with the rent keep going up and the houses prices are up. I have to wait a few years to get in the property ladder. Friends I know who live with the parents, they don't have to pay rent because they live with in their house, in the houses. They rent out mostly. They work self-employed, most of them. Maybe a window cleaner, labourer, those type of jobs. Most people I know are in hospitality or retail, because retail and hospitality has been hit by the pandemic hardest. I think most people live with their friends or family. People don't have money to spend like they used to. More shops are closing and not enough jobs available. More people getting unemployed. They buy essential things if they need to, not unnecessary things. They spend less, I think. They go out less. They rather work from home. After the lockdown, they're not going as much as they used to. In a way, it's creating the society to get disengaged with people. They can shop online. They can do they can do everything online nowadays. Can order anything from home. If money was an issue, if I won the 100 million lottery, I would give it to charity. Not all of it, no. I would pick cancer. Back in Bangladesh, my mom's uncle had blood cancer. He died 9 years ago now, yeah. I would open my own film studio, employ people and work from there. That would be my, dream.